Hi everyone! Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Teacher CJ and I will guide you in understanding general mathematics, specifically in Module 6 on the concepts of simple and compound interest. Before we start learning, I want to send a thank you message to all of you who watch my video tutorials. To be updated on my upcoming tutorials, just click the notification bell to be notified. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video if this helped you in understanding the concepts on interest. Today, in continuation with Module 6, let's discuss Lesson 3 on compound interest. What is the difference between simple and compound interest? In simple interest, the interest is calculated on the principal amount only. However, in compound interest, the interest is calculated on the principal amount and the interest that is previously earned. So we have here the formula for compound interest as f minus p, where we can find for the future value or maturity value and the present value or the principal amount when the principal amount is compounded once a year or many times a year. We have here f as the future value, p as the present value, r is the interest rate in decimal, n is the number of times interest is compounded per year, and t is the time in years. When the principal amount is compounded once a year, n here is 1. r divided by 1 is r. 1 times t is t. We can simplify the formula as f is equal to p times the quantity of 1 plus r raised to the power of t, and I sub c equals f minus p, where f is equal to maturity value or future value at the end of the term, p is the principal or the present value, r is the interest rate, t is the term or time in years, and I sub c is the compound interest. But if we will look into the present value, p is equal to f all over the quantity of 1 plus r raised to the power of t. If we are going to divide both sides by 1 plus r raised to the power of t to get the formula for p. In problem 1, the maturity value of 25,000 pesos deposited in a bank for 4 years is 29,246 pesos and 46 centavos. What is its compound interest after 4 years? So in this problem, let us identify what is the future value or the maturity value. So here, we have the future value is 29,246 pesos and 46 centavos. Aside from that, it's very clear in the problem that the principal amount or the principal value or the present value is 25,000 pesos. Also, we are given that the time in years is 4. So that are given in the problem. What is asked in the problem? What is its compound interest after 4 years? That is the statement. So, we need to solve for the compound interest or just I sub c. Here, we will use the formula I sub c is simply the future value or the maturity value minus the principal amount or the present value. So, to solve for this, simply substitute f and p in the given to f and p in the formula. So we have here I sub c is equal to f, which is 29,246 pesos and 46 centavos, and p is 25,000 pesos, which is simply 4,246 pesos and 46 centavos. Hence, in our conclusion, the interest after 4 years is 4,246 pesos and 46 centavos. In the second problem, if Mr. Perez deposited in his bank account an amount of 50,000 pesos at an annual rate of 0.4% compounded yearly, how much amount of money will Mr. Perez have in his bank account after 15 years? So in this problem, how much money did Mr. Perez deposited in his bank account? We have the present value given is 50,000 pesos. Also, we are given that the annual rate is 0.4%. However, we need to write this one in decimal form. So, we will just divide it by 100 or move 2 decimal places to your left so that when you move it twice to your left, the answer is 0.004 or 4 thousandths. Why is it 4 thousandths? Because this is tens, hundredths, and thousands. So you can also read this one as 4 thousandths. Last given in the problem is the number of years. So in the problem, we will look into the amount of money that Mr. Perez will have in his bank account after 15 years. So our time here is 15 years. Now what is asked in the problem? We are going to determine the amount of money that Mr. Perez will have in his bank account after 15 years. So that is obviously the future value or the maturity value. Hence, we will use the formula for the future value, which is just P times the quantity of 1 plus R raised to the power of T. We will use this formula since the amount of money is compounded yearly or annually. So how are you going to solve for this? Through the given, we will just substitute P, R, and T to the formula. So, we'll have P as 50,000 pesos, R as 0.004 or 4 thousandths, and T is 15. 1 plus 0.004, that is simply 1.004. We raise it to the power of 15. In your scientific calculators, you can input 1.004 and this symbol raised to the power of 15. This is actually a very small amount. When you multiply by 50,000 pesos, the answer is 53,085 pesos and 45 centavos. Hence, in our conclusion, Mr. Perez has 53,085 pesos and 45 centavos in his bank account after 15 years. In the third problem, suppose a businessman places his money as time deposit in a bank compounded annually that pays 0.8%. How much money should the businessman deposit so that he will have 250,000 pesos after 5 years? So in this problem, we are given that the rate here of interest is 0.8%. But we need to rewrite this one in decimal form, so we will just simply divide it by 100, or you move twice to your left or 2 decimal places to your left so that the answer is 0.008 or 8 thousandths. Also, we are given that the future value or maturity value that the businessman will have in his. Since we are looking into the amount of money that the businessman deposited in the bank account, we will be 250,000 pesos after 5 years, or the principal 5 years serves as our time. So the formula that we will use here is just P is equal to F all over the quantity of 1 plus R raised to the power of T, since this is compounded annually. So based from the given, we will substitute the rate, the future value, and T to the formula. Thus, our future value is 250,000 pesos. Our R is 8,000 or 0.008, and our T is 5. Simplifying the denominator, we get 1.008 or 1 and 8 thousandths. Next, we are going to simplify the denominator first by raising 1.008 to the power 5. And this is a very small amount. Dividing 250,000 pesos by the answer, we get 240,235 pesos and 59 centavos. Therefore, in our conclusion, 240,235 pesos and 59 centavos is the amount of money that the businessman deposited in the bank in order to receive 250,000 pesos after 5 years. At dyan nagtatapos ang ating leksyon. Sana may napag-aralan kayo sa araw na ito. Paalam!